Hello everybody, welcome back to another RobloxU. So it's been about 3 months, hooray! And that means that I'm due for another video, about 20 videos. So, what am I gonna say? Actually no, I think it's about 12 videos, so never mind, you guys need 12 videos. So, what am I gonna do here? Well, today we're working on advancement of the enemy AI, and we're also going to be working on turrets. And no, we're not just going to be being able to place turrets, like I said on my Twitter. No, no, we're going to be working on turret shooting people, not people, but you know, the enemies. So let's get working on that. So I don't know if you guys have this already. I just got to work this out with you guys. So So as you guys can see, I already have a turrets folder here. Let's go ahead and delete that so we go ahead and work with that later. Or actually, you know what? Let's do that first thing right now. So if you guys should have an assets folder from the very second video, I think. Maybe the very first, I'm not for sure. But go ahead and insert a turrets folder and go ahead and create yourself a little turret model. This is my little turret model. And basically, you're going to need to set it a primary part, so go ahead and name every other part, a different corresponding to what it really should be standing for, and then what the base will be is your main part. So name it base, and then click on your model, click the primary part, and select the base as your primary part. When you select primary part, so let me get rid of that. When we select primary part, you can either go to the actual part in the workspace and select it, but I recommend doing it in the Explorer, and just select your base. And that's all you need for the turrets. So that's basically that for that. So let's go ahead and set up the workspace here. So in our course, we're going to set up 2 folders. One's going to be called enemies. This is where we're going to place our enemies in the course. And then we're going to call one called turrets. Pretty simple, not that hard. Should be good for you guys at least. So that's it, and you may be asking, well, then what are we going to do now? Well, that's pretty simple. Next, we're off to the enemy AI. So in here, you might not already have a table called AI. So go ahead, and if you don't have one, then go ahead and place it down. If you do already have one, then don't do this step. So go ahead and just do local AI equals the table, just like self. So you might be asking yourself now, well, what are we going to do? Well, that's pretty simple. So, first we're going to add in a new version here, which will be BL as another variable, and we're just going to put base location. And this is how I kind of do, how I say which variable is which now. So that's very simple. So you can copy my style if you want. Next, we're going to work on our saved table, or let's do local st for save table. Let's make that equal to a regular table for now, and I'll just explain why really quickly. We're doing save table, or st, so we can easily access any data which will be accessible in the AI area. Then we're going to go ahead and do paused equals to false, destroyed equal to false, not true, I don't know what I was thinking there. And body equals to nil. Basically, paused for a pause menu, we just pause all the enemies. Destroyed, basically saying, okay, we're just going to get rid of you. And the body, basically saying, alright, this is the main model. Next, we're going to go ahead and do BL, because we need to change where it's C framing. So we're going to do BL.parent.other, wait for child, and then we're going to wait for the start path. And that's where we're going to start off the enemy. And then we're just going to go ahead and set this to base location. Pretty simple. And then we're going to do st.body is equal to obj. Now you might be saying to yourself at this current moment, well, what are we going to be using AI for, Spooks? Well, that's pretty simple as well. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be AI obj equals st. Now you might also ask,
hey Spooks, why are you putting the object in the AI table?
Well, that's very simple. Whenever we said, instead of doing the name when all of them are going to have the same name, all we have to do is just go ahead and put in the object when we search in that table, and it'll get us that direct object. Pretty simple, I must say. So how do we handle whenever whenever it gets removed and this keeps going? Will it error? Yes, of course it will, because it's not there, so it's not going to be able to move it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just add in a simple one. If AI obj does not equal no, then end. Pretty simple. Basically what we're saying here is if the table is equal to nil, then we don't do this. Otherwise, we do. So we're going to make an else statement for this if statement, and we're just going to break the whole loop, basically ending the movement process. And I'll show you why we're doing this instead of waiting for the body to be equal to nil. So let's make a function called self end existence, and then we're just going to get the enemy. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to look for the enemy like we added it in when we in the start enemy, and then whoops, there's no e between there. Destroyed equals true AI enemy. I don't know why I keep doing that. Destroy, and then AI enemy equals nil. Now here's the part where it equals nil, because we want to get rid of that table, so we just do. And you might be asking yourself once again, or you're asking me,
Well, Spooks, why are we destroying the variable?
we're not. We're destroying what the variable is linked to, so just in case you get confused there. So that's basically all we have to do for this part here. It's not very complicated at all. Next, we're moving on to the replicated storage, and we're going to start working with our with the folders. So we have nothing to do with the assets because we already messed around with the turret assets. So we're just going to add in a event folder, or events. We're going to add in an event called signal. Oh, whoops, I pressed the wrong thing, of course. So we're going to add in a events, or in a remote event into here, and call it signal. This allows us to do simple server to client, client to server communication. So that's all we really have to do for that. I really quickly want to go into the modules, and I want to do types, and I want to go really quickly add in a strength variable. Whoa, okay, Cortana. Strength equals 1. We're just going to do that for now. And then that should be it for that. Then we're just going to go ahead and move on to a new script, which is it's quite simple, so don't worry. We're just going to close all those for now. We'll move back to the scripts in sooner or later. So we're going to go to starter GUI, add in a local script, if I can find it. There you go. And we're going to name this client controller. Now we're going to ask ourselves, well,
Spooks, why are we creating a client controller, and what does this have to do with anything?
well, we're creating a client controller so we can do the placement of the turret and also the shooting. So that should be very simple for you guys. Well, simple for me. If you guys are watching this tutorial, it probably means that it might not be simple for you. So let's work out with libraries. So let's go ahead and do that. Libraries. So we're going to make a local player, and we're going to make that equal to the local player in the players directory. And then we're going to make a character, car as in not actual the word car, but car as in like charcoal, but you know, carcoal, whatever. So we're going to do player.character or player.character added. Wait, so that's just thinking about jeez, I can't even say charcoal. Alright, so we have the player.character added wait. What does this do? It's pretty simple. We're waiting for the character to be added for the player, and the wait basically says let's just wait for that. The player.character added just returns the character when it's been added to the workspace. Pretty simple. Player.character just accesses the character from the player. Then we're going to do local mouse equals player get mouse. We're going to be using this for mouse input. Then we have our local camera, workspace.currentCamera, can only be accessed from the local script. Well, correctly, I should say. Then local rs for render stepped. So get service, run service, dot render stepped, and that's going to be the RS stands for render stepped. Then we have UIs. Technically, that's going to not mean for any user interface, nor a. Whoops, why am I wrong thing? I'm talking too much. So no, but this basically is not using graphical user interface, but you could see user input service, and you could tell the beginning of each word, the letter goes into UIs when combined. Then we have our fundamental module. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. Let's just go ahead and exit out of that really quickly. If we go to replicate storage and models and go to fundamentals, you guys know that we have a types here. But if you if you don't already have this, the fundamentals folder game settings, I'd recommend making it now. Game settings, module.current course, make it equal to workspace.course, and that's basically it. That's all the game settings has for now. Then we're going to go ahead and just do local gs for game settings equals require game.replicate storage.modules.fundamentals.game settings. Don't worry, we're going to be shortening a lot of these probably near the end of this series. So server script service.modules.classes.enemy AI, and that's basically our two fundamental modules that we're going to be using. And then we have events, and this is going to be local events equals game.replicatestorage.events. That should be pretty simple for you guys, at least, hopefully. It's pretty good too. So we're going to go ahead and start working on the main script. And main script isn't that hard. Basically, we're requiring the modules which are returned. User input service allows us to get keyboard, gamepad, iPad touch. Render stepped is, I believe, every frame that you can call it on. Current camera is the player's camera. The mouse is, of course, your mouse. The character is the player's character, and the player, of course, is you. So that's basically all that explained. So, and the events is just a little event area. And actually, let's make a local signal event. Events wait for child signal. Perfect. So that looks good. So we're gonna wait for child. Oh wait, what am I doing? I forgot. We already have signals, so I don't even know why I'm doing that. So dot on client event. Now, if you guys don't know what on client event does, basically it says when you fire a client from the server, we basically pick up that event and we just go ahead and use it. So we're going to have a version variable, a parameter variable, a second parameter variable, and a third parameter variable. Pretty simple. P1, P2, P3. P stands for parameter, and version I'll discuss soon. Now we're going to work on our functions. Now, I don't know about a lot of other developers, but I tend to have a function list when it comes to events. I just find it more convenient that way. So we're going to have a setup turret function, and that won't require any variables. So we're going to go ahead and set CLP equals true. Then we're going to set local last rot equals, and basically last rot will be used for the rotation of your turret. And then CLP equals true. That's basically our currently placing. So let's just go ahead and create that. Currently placing, that's our note saying what that is. And then we're going to create an x equals 0, y equals 0, and z equals 0. This will be basically used for any rotation axis you want. This can be used for multiple purposes, by the way. So then we're going to be using our cloning system, or it's not really a system, it's a simple amount of events that go well with each other. So then we are going to access our turret. So go ahead and just access where you place that and add that parent to the camera. That seems very simple. And now we're on to our inputs. And by the way, the clone function, all it does is just make a copy of it, and then it basically doesn't place it in somewhere until you place it yourself. So now we got the inputs. So we're going to do UIS input began connect function IO and GPE. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what?
SpooksHD, what's I/O and GPE?
Very simple. I/O is the input object, and GPE is the game processed event. And that came right off the mind. It's not that hard to remember when you've been doing this for a while. So I/O is the input object. So let's say you're going it from the gamepad. We can get what type of you use the joystick or the buttons, keyboard or the touch. So that's kind of how it works. Game processed event is what's already going on. So let's go ahead and do if io.keycode equals enum.keycode.r and clp equals to true. Then we're going to do what's inside here. Now you might be asking yourself this very simple question. Spooks, why are we making sure CLP equals to true, and why isn't this going to be anywhere else? Well, the very simple question to this is CLP, we wanted to make sure CLP is equal to true because when you finish placing the object, which will be coming, I think, right after this, we don't want to keep rotating it every time we press R, or every time when we place a new object and press R, it doesn't rotate this object. So that's why. So I'll explain why we're not doing it in a future step later. So we're going to go ahead and do if T is a model, then. Now I will explain to you why we're doing this. So the reason why we're making sure if it's a model or if T is a base part is because you might just have a simple like mesh part or something like that. So basically a base part is a union operation, a part, or a mesh part. I'm pretty sure those are the only base parts you can have. So those are base parts, and basically we're going to make sure, because if you have a model, then we're going to make sure that it has, if t.primary part does not equal nil, then else warn set primary part to base. So basically what we're saying is if it doesn't have a primary part, because it needs to have a primary part so we can rotate it, because we're not going to make a transform function for models, trust me, it gets long. So we're basically just saying right now, go ahead and set it if not, and if it does, then we're going to continue. And we'll be doing the base part right after the model. The model part is just a bit longer. So we're going to do set primary part C frame T get primary part C frame times C frame dot angles 0 math dot rad 5 0. So that's basically how we're gonna rotate it. Oh, whoops, I did something here. There you go. You have to always do that when you're doing this primary part. Then last rot dot y equals T dot primary part dot rotation dot y. Basically what we're saying here is we're going to set the primary part C frame. This sets the whole model C frame, and we're going to set it to the rotation in which we want it to be set to. And then it's basically a lot shorter for this one. T.C-frame equals T.C-frame, and then you can just copy the C-frame.angles part. Put it there, copy this, get rid of the primary part, and it's that much shorter. Yeah, it's a lot shorter. So basically this is all you have to do for this. So you can just go ahead and minimize that yeah, I guess minimize would be, or collapse that for now. Now we're moving on to, to the next part, which is the moused up button 1 down. But first we're going to create a function which will be used for later. And this is going to be a local function called cast ray. And this is going to be for showing where it's targeting to when destroying or killing enemies. So we're just going to do local mag equals o dot primary part dot position minus minus O2, and oh, I forgot the variables, O and O2, and I'm putting zeros. Sorry about that, guys. So minus O2 dot position dot magnitude. Then we're going to go ahead and do local beam is equal to instance dot new part. And then beam dot brick color equals brick color dot new. And then let's say, well, let's just make this black for now. And then beam dot material equals neon. Beam dot transparency equals 0.5. Let's make it 0 actually. And then beam dot anchored equals true because we don't want it to fall. Beam dot can collide equals true. And then beam dot size, and this is where the magnitude comes in. Vector 3 dot new 0.3, 0.3, and then mag. Beam dot c-frame equals c-frame dot new. O dot primary part c-frame. Why do I keep putting zeros? Primary part c-frame. No, not c-frame. Position. O2 dot position. Because enemies will always be parts for now until we move on to the next one. Times c-frame dot new 0, 0, and then mag divided by 2. And negative mag. And that should be basically it for that. That shouldn't be... Yep, that should be good. And beam dot parent is equal to camera. Then we're just going to add this to our to the debris service that Roblox provides for us. So debris, add item, beam, and then 4. And my phone keeps going off. Thanks, Twitter. So, that's basically the code for our beam stuff. It's not that long, actually, if you say so. And by the way, you guys will find this a lot different than my last setup, but I think it's just easier for you guys to see. I don't know why Team Create's open. So, yeah, that's about that for this part here. So, that's not much. So, we'll go ahead and close that for now. And then we have our mouse dot button 1 down part here. So let's go ahead and work with that. So mouse dot, oh, whoops, I don't know why it's back there. There we go. Mouse dot button 1 down. Now you guys might be asking yourself, well, why then do we not have it like a GUI where it's mouse button 1 down instead of mouse dot button 1 down? And that's because it's just shorter. that's all I can say. It's just shorter. So now we're gonna go ahead. And this is going to be a long one. So we're going to make CLP equals a false because we're done placing. So finished placing. And then we're going to make another local function. Track enemies. That's basically all we need right there. So we're going to go ahead and just use O for our main substance, and then we're just going to go ahead and do this. So we're going to have a local cooldown here. And this is going to be basically saying, alright, this is what we have, this is what we're going to do for, we're going to wait every time it shoots. Then we're going to go ahead and do local closest part. And that's going to be, we're going to look through all the parts, we're going to see which one is closest, and then we're going to shoot that one. Then we're going to make a spawn function, and I'll explain spawn functions probably near the end of the video. So don't worry, guys. I'll teach it soon. So we're going to make a while loop, and then we're going to go ahead and wait the cooldown. So there we go. So cooldown will always be equal to 0 because will always be equal to 0 at the start, and also after the cooldown has ended. Then we're going to go ahead and do if hashtag workspace.course.enemies get children. Actually, do we have a GS here? Yes, we do. So we can just do gs.currentCourse.enemies get children. does not equal 0, then we're going to say this because, well, if it's not equal to 0, then that should be very simple to do. So cooldown equals 0. Then we're going to go ahead and do for n, e in pairs. And we're going to copy this. And then we're going to do, and then we're going to go ahead and do if e does not equal 0, then, because we don't want to shoot it if it's already dead. So we're going to go ahead and do local mag, which would stand for magnitude, is t dot. Actually, you know what? I think we could just open this and copy that. There you go. Yep. Wow, look how simple that was. See, you can always reuse code. So then we're going to do E because E stands for enemy, and there you go. That's the magnitude. So then if we're going to do if mag is less than or equal to 4.5, because that's what I've tested and that's what's close enough to it, then closest part equals to E. And there you go. That's a basic search function. Look at all those ends. So what do we do with this? Well, we can go ahead and do a very simple part after that, which is, I think, after the for loop. Yeah, after the for loop, if closest part if closest part, then we're going to cast ray. We're going to cast it to O and to closest part. I don't know why it's not showing. So basically that's what we want to do with that. And then we're going to start using events, and we're going to start using our first event and calling it. So wait for child, and we're going to wait for signal. Or did we actually? No, we have it there. All right, that's good. I keep forgetting that we have that. So neat that we have that. So we're going to fire server. We're going to make it a backdoor. We're going to destroy the enemy, and we're going to make it so it's coming from the closest part. Or it's going to the closest part. Then we are going to do closest part equals nil, and cooldown, let's say, is equal to 3.
Now you might be asking yourself now, well, Spooks, why are we setting closest part equal to nil? Will it already reset?
No, not quite, because if it doesn't find a part that is close enough, we're going to have the same closest part, but it's gone. So then how is it going to find that same part and destroy it? It's not. So there you go. That's basically the track enemies function that we have. So after that, for the mouse button 1 down thing, the only thing you have to put down here is track enemies now. And you have to just do T, and that's it. And that's literally all you have to do. For the mouse button 1 down, it kind of shortens it, and it makes it easier to read. So now we're on to the last part here or the close to the last part. We're going to do target filter. We're not going to mess up on spelling that, because I remember testing a video out for this and I misspelled target. So basically here, all we're saying is, all right, go ahead, find the target, and then set the target filter to that, and basically we're just going to ignore that object and only track things behind it. That's basically what it says. Now we're going back to what we had before, rs connect, or not what we had before, but what we have now, and we're going to create a function with the render step. So if clp equals true, whoops, not false, then basically saying if we're still placing, then do this and move the object, and mouse.target does not equal nil, then, and basically what we're saying here, and after this it's going to be very long, mouse.target, we're just saying this, and it's very simple. If there is a mouse.target, it won't be equal to nil. It will be equal to something. But if it's equal to nil, you're like pointing to the sky, there's nothing. So then don't do anything. Then we're just going to go ahead and do events, wait for child, signal. Oh, what am I even doing? I can just shorten that. Oh, I'm so used to the other way. Then we're going to do a backdoor once again. Backdoor. Update turret position. And then we're going to do T. And we're going to put that down here because this is going to be a long one. cframe.new mouse.target.position.x. And then we're going to have more right here. T.primaryPart.size.y divided by 2. We're going to cut it off there. Plus mouse.target.position.y. Cut it off there. Plus 0.5. Then we're going to have mouse.target.position.z. That is long. That is a long one. But there's more, don't worry. Yeah, a lot more. cframe.angles, not new. 0, last, rot.y, 0. And that's basically all. It's that simple, not that hard, so we're just going to place it there. So there you go. It's quite long, but we have one last part here, and we're gonna move out of here, and we're gonna do if ver equals backdoor, then bdfl, because we're gonna look through the backdoor function list. Then we're gonna go ahead and do p1, p2, p3. Basically, P1 is just what we're going to be calling. Anyways, that's basically it. We're just going to do a really quick thing here. If mouse.target.parent equals gs.current course, then, because we want it to be equal to the current course, not like base plate or anything like that. And there we go. Perfect. Now we're just going to go ahead and finish the last parts off here. So we're going to include a script in the scripts area. We're going to name this client like event handler. And we're going to set up our last point, or let's just do event controller. That sounds better. This was a long video, but it's going to be worth it, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and go up here. We're just going to copy this. And then we're going to copy this. And then we're going to do on server event player for PLR, because it will always come out with a PLR, sorry, not P, whatever, I don't know. And then we're just going to go ahead and do this right here. Copy that. And then we're going to do BDFL. And we're going to do our final parts. This is a very small one, but there's something else that we're going to also have to include in here I forgot about. If it's equal to front door, because we're going to be using the front door for something very special, which I will be noting very soon. We're going to go ahead and do signal fire server backdoor P1, P2, and P3. Basically, this is going to be a server to client to server, so when we want to do server to server kind of communication. Now, I know there's already something for that, but we're not going to be, I just wanted to do this because we already have, so we can only use one event, and this really shortens out everything. So, local, whoops, there we go, local BDFL. We're going to go ahead and do destroy enemy equals function PO for parameter 0, EAI, and existence. And then we're going to go ahead and do P0, pretty simple. And now we're on to update turret position equals function, and then P0 and P, and do that. And then we're going to do if P0 is a model, then P0 set primary part C-frame to P. Now, if you guys have a base part, we're just going to do if PO is a base part, then we're going to do PO.C-frame equals P. Whoops, there we go. That's pretty simple. That is actually all for this script too, so it's very small. It's about only 26 lines of code right there. Yeah. So now we're on to our last final part here. You guys are probably really happy that we're about to finish here. We actually have an enemy AI. We have to add in one more part, which is workspace.course.enemy. So we place them in there. And then after that, the final thing that we need. Oh, you know what? We should just really quickly add that in, because it makes our lives easier. Signal fire client, and we'll mess with this later on where we actually place it towards them. Or actually, you know what? Well, let's do this. Game.players.playerAdded connect function. Okay, and then PRR.character added connect function. That would be car for character. Then we're gonna go ahead and do this. Wait to signal fire client PLR backdoor setup turret, and this will work with any player. Hopefully, I think this is how you would set up the character added part. So that should be it. So if I just really quickly go back here to the enemy AI and we overlook this really quickly, that should be in a spawn function. Yeah, everything looks like it's set. So if we go ahead and press that play button, hopefully we have our final thing. There we go, and look at that. It's gonna destroy it. That's gonna go away. Then look at that, perfect. So let's just quickly increase the wait time so you guys can actually see. So where's the cooldown? Cooldown. There we go. Let's actually, you know what? Let's make a variable up here. Just in the variables section. Local C time, or cooldown time, equals 4. Cooldown time. This is the last part, guys. It's a long video, but we made it. Cooldown time, and then if we go down here, we'll make that equal to CT. Now, if we press play, I will show you guys what happens. So we wait to after the player has joined in, and boom. So there you go. So we wait for, so you see that it will find the closest one, and it will change. So guys, that is basically, that's basically the whole video. So we got it there. Basically, you can just keep going, place them in different areas. Like if we press play again, I can place, and it only does it here now. So that's the cool part. Also, you can kind of set it on these guys. But so let's like set them there. Perfect. Look at that. Now it's going to destroy enemies coming through here. So even if that guy comes in, it's going to destroy him. Oh, never mind. All right. Well, you would need more of these. Cooldown time's quite small. But anyways, that's it. So thank you everybody for watching this video. Thank you all for giving me that support. Thank you for staying with me after 3 months of no uploads. It's been pretty great for me to have this channel and to have this experience with you guys. I don't know. There will be a little poll probably at the end of the video with an outro with me talking about some stuff. Basically saying about a poll if I should do face cam and what should change. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to. If this helped you out, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any problems, leave down a comment down below. I will, and I'm serious about this, I will be trying to help you guys out. But you guys gotta remember, put a paste bin or at least a GitHub of your code so I can actually look through it instead of looking through a mess on the comments. I will remove your comment from now on if it's just a plain if it's just some plain code. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.